saying that we need to teach men not to rape. And I said, my dear, I love how idealistic you are, but I am realistic. Men are already taught not to rape. She's like, no, we need to go and change language at school and rewrite history and do all the shit they're trying to do to make men weak because they think that weak men don't rape. But I said, no, people already understand that rape is wrong. Unfortunately, human nature, some people don't care about doing wrong things. We should teach people not to steal, but they still steal. Would you agree that everyone says don't steal? The Bible says don't steal. The Quran says don't steal. Schools say don't steal. Everyone says don't steal. People still steal. So if I were to take $1 million in cash and walk down the street at night in the worst part of town holding it, to a degree, I would have some responsibility. When I got robbed, the police would come and say, why did you do that? People would say, Andrew, why did you do that? You have to protect yourself from things. You can't just rely on the ideological hope that other people in the world are going to be perfect and infallible, or that the law is going to prevent it. You have to say, no, I can't walk through the ghetto at 2 a.m. with $1 million in cash. I take personal responsibility. She agreed. I said, then by extension, would you agree that the smartest thing a woman can do to prevent rape is not to sit here on a podcast and try and change the way men think and talk about your bullshit, but to take some degree of personal responsibility and not put yourself in dangerous situations? I'm not saying that's going to prevent all rape. I'm not saying that rape is okay. Rapists should be executed. I'm not saying that every single woman who was ever assaulted could have prevented it. I'm not saying any of that. I'm saying the smartest thing a woman can do is say, this is dangerous. Going home with this guy I just met is dangerous. Walking through this area by myself is dangerous. Let me call a taxi. Let me call my brother. Let me go with my husband. Isn't that a more intelligent way to teach women to prevent themselves from being raped, as opposed to telling them you can do whatever you want, walk around in the middle of the night naked, it's no problem, men shouldn't rape, men are the problem? I said, what you're trying to do is illogical. What I'm trying to say will actually prevent rape. So what you're saying, when you're telling girls, do whatever you want, men are the problem, you're convincing women to put themselves in situations where bad things might happen to them. Whereas I'm saying, listen, women and men, look after yourself. And she was saying that we need to...
Not wrong.
Not wrong. I don't even see any problem with that. And if you got any problem with that, then you're thick as fuck.
Yeah, basically. Because he makes, like, if you take, like, the nastiness out of it, yeah, he's just basically saying you wouldn't walk down the street with £1 million hanging out your back pocket and not expect to get robbed. Like, idealistically, you're not going to get robbed, but we don't live in an idealistic world, so shit like that's going to happen, you know?
See, I showed my missus that.
Yeah.
After all the fucking misogyny shit.
Yeah.
And straight away, she goes, turn it off. I can't stand his voice. Like, oh my God, like, well, fucking listen to it. Like, he makes valid points.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And there's loads of videos out there with Andrew Tate regarding, like, someone's, like, goes up to him with a mic and says, do you know who Andrew Tate is? And they're like, yeah. Do you like him? No. Why? Because he's a misogynist. And they're like, define misogyny. And they're like, and they walk away and they're like, okay.
Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Sadly, yes.
Yes. How do you feel about him?
I do not like him.
Why? Give me a reason.
He's...
Yeah, exactly. He's okay. Yeah. Do you have a reason why you don't like him?
Just... he's just a bad person.
What makes him a bad person?
I have to go to class.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, do you have a reason why you don't like him? Another person with no reason. It's okay.
Mad, isn't it?
Do you have a reason why you don't like him?
He's just him.
I think
he is him.
Really gay, and he just doesn't want to admit it.
Oh, okay. So do you have a valid reason why you don't like him?
Not really, I just don't.
Like, why don't you like him?
Because he's misogynistic.
Can you define misogyny for me?
What the
Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Not a question.
Mad, isn't it?
Do you know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah.
They have no idea. It's all the media. It's the media saying how much of an arsehole he is and everyone else just being like, yeah, he's an arsehole. But I'm yet to find one definitive video of him being wrong. There's lots of clips of him being wrong because people have taken... They've taken...
Out of context.
Out of context. They've taken, like, his example for something and they've clipped it and gone, this is what he said. No. He was using that as an example. You actually clipped off the whole thing. So... But if you nowadays, if you go around saying that you like Andrew Tate, or you agree with Andrew Tate, immediately people are like, oh my god, you agree with him? What the fuck? Like, calm down.
I agree with him.
Yeah, same.
I just like you. I agree with probably 90 or a large percentage of stuff I agree with you with. Sometimes we don't agree with everything. That's
Yeah.
fine. It's exactly how I feel towards Andrew Tate. I don't see what the fucking issue is. Apart from if people looked into it a bit deeper and more thorough, then they'll find out those little clips have been took out of context and, yeah, made them look a lot worse. Fucking hell, like, are people dumb to realise that or not? I don't understand. Like, it's like, come on. And now the media, everyone, all I'm going to say, take this out of fucking context if you want, but everyone's a fucking sheep. You're all a bunch of sheeps.
Sheeple.
Bah!
Sheeple, I call them. It's a mixture between sheep and people. I sent you this one as well. I like this one. Hang on.
He's better and not skinny as fuck and actually has something going for him.
And I think that flipped this switch in me where I was like, okay, fuck you, watch this.
It's such a good video. It's like, yo, fuck you. I love that one.
You're skinny as fuck, and he's
Fuck
just
you.
better than you. And he's just like,
Damn. He's just like, okay, cool.
without that person, he wouldn't be who he is today, I suppose. Oh, mate.
Let me show you
Please
this
play
one as
that
well.
one.
This one.
Oh, you said that. I don't find that funny.
You don't find this funny?
It's funny, but not hilarious.
It's the
No, I got see with me. Like I thought, that's gonna fucking hurt. But then another part of me says, is that fake? Has he done that deliberately?
Nah,
Like, you know?
Nah, no one's kicking that hard. No, there's no way. The other one I sent you the other day, this is mate, because he's not
This
wrong.
was brutal.
He's not. Yeah, but he's not wrong. He
This was
isn't
a good
wrong.
one. He's brutal, but fuck me,
Listen,
like
people
this.
outgrow
So,
each other,
pause
bro.
a second.
People, sometimes
I
in
think
life,
like
they don't work.
the people that find this offensive, right? Are you ready?
Yeah.
The people that find this one offensive are the snowflakes and can't take anything. Like they'll just take it to heart.
I don't think anyone would take this offensive. Offensively, I think the people that find this hard to listen to are the people that lie to themselves.
Yeah,
That
that's right, yeah.
they actually believe that. Yeah. Well, hang on.
Out, and that's
But
how
even
life
if it's
is,
not-
bro. You gotta understand and respect that. You know what I mean?
That's what girls say when they're fucking someone else.
Let me start that again. Hang
Outgrow
on.
each other. Listen, people outgrow each other, bro. People sometimes in life they don't work out, and that's just how life is, bro. You gotta understand and respect that. You know what I mean?
That's what girls say when they're fucking someone else. People outgrow each other. It's not you, it's me. You know what? You're a really good friend. I don't see you that way. Once they have a new cock to gobble on, that's usually what happens. So who does she fuck? Do you know yet? Did you even find out?
No, and I don't think she is fucking anyone.
It's the laugh.
Oh yeah, she left you to be by herself. She left you to sit at home alone and watch TV. Yeah, 100%. 100% that's why she left you, G. She left you because she just really wanted to sit at home by herself, not to run around with some other dude. You're totally rest. Completely agree. She ain't fucking nobody. Don't worry, you can sleep just fine at night. Maybe you should text her when you're lonely. Send her a text. She might text back this time. She's definitely not with some dude. You know all those other times she didn't reply? She was tired. She was asleep. Don't worry about it. This time she might text back. Miss you too. Wish we could have worked out. There's not some dude like me sitting next to her laughing at your messages.
Bro, you're weird as fuck, bro. Listen,
Mate.
I've been the dude sitting there laughing at the texts.
Mate, who like exactly? And I speak to me and my brothers all about this all the time, and it's like when me and Keith have had ups and downs, they've literally given me that speech, and I've just been like, "You're fucking with my head."
Yeah.
And then funny old thing, it actually happened.
Yeah.
Me and Keith split up many times, and then that's it. Like,
it's
why
mad,
did
isn't
she
it?
text her back? Oh, because she's been with another guy.
It's one of them,
vice
innit?
versa.
It's mad. It is.
Reality
Yeah.
to fantasy.
The thing is-
he's thinking in this little bubble. Oh yeah, we're fine with her. Not really. She probably is. And even if she isn't, she's got some intention towards that, I reckon. Or some
The thing is, right, is Andrew Tate is just honest, and because life is so simple to him. So some people are like this. It's like some people find it doesn't matter what it is. Like I find chess, the game of chess, really simple. I can play it. I can beat most people. I'm pretty good at it. And it doesn't matter what it is. Some people are good at maths, and they just like Carol Vorderman, and they just find maths easy. It's just something they can do, and they rattle it off. Andrew Tate just understands life, and he sees it really simply. He finds economy simple. He finds money, all money. He finds that getting money, he knows how to do it. It's easy to him. It's a joke. It's funny that people don't know how to do it like he does. And the whole misogyny thing is he just understands how the world works. It's like the other video I showed you about women saying they didn't want to be property and all this, that, and the other. I think this one is about being drafted. Hang on.
How about that? How can we say we were disadvantaged before when we didn't have to fight in wars? The men were the ones that had to go fight in wars. We'll say my body, my choice all day, but we'll never talk about their body, their choice when they get drafted. Women, the majority of women didn't even want the right to vote because it came with the responsibility of getting drafted. So most girls are like, I'm gonna chill in the kitchen. And I absolutely would chill in the kitchen if that was the same thing today. How about that? How can we say...
Mad, isn't it? So, like, when Andrew Tate's been like, women need to get in the kitchen, this, that, and the other, it sounds really awful, but in certain contexts, it makes kind of sense. It's like back in the day, the reason the women were in the kitchens because the men were at war. The men were drafted to do these things, but Andrew Tate has just got a completely different. He's got a more modern spin on it, and it makes it sound horrific. But like my missus, if she could spend all day at home in the kitchen and chilling with the kids and cleaning the house and stuff, and I earned more than enough money to pay for literally everything, and she didn't have to worry about bills, she didn't have to worry about anything, I'm sure she would be happy to take it, and I think a lot of people would. Mate, if my missus was earning a ridiculous amount of money and she had to go out to work every day, I'd be happy to stay in the kitchen. I'd be the dude that stayed in the kitchen. But in this day and age, a lot of...
I'm being honest.
Yeah, 100. I don't care.
I think I would, but I'm not as well. Like I kind of like to be the one that provides.
Because we're men.
That's
the man side in us.
I think that's just a natural instinct.
It's exactly. It's the natural instinct.
It's a natural instinct.
It's the natural instinct.
It's like a natural instinct to go to to fight.
Exactly.
To protect.
Oh shit! Where's that one? We sent that to each other.
If Russia started invading the UK now, like I'd be the first one to be on that fucking front line to fucking protect our country and protect our households and our women, children, and everyone. You know.
Yeah, 100. But if my missus said that she wanted to go to war, I'd be like, fuck you.
Yeah, like I want some Russian soldiers like raping everyone and stuff like that because that's the reports that are going out today, aren't they?
Mad, isn't it? But yeah, check this one out.
You guys know who Andrew Tate is?
Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
Do we like him? Do we not like him?
No.
Why not?
Massive misogynist.
Can you define misogyny?
Men are better than women.
Have you heard him say men are better than women, though?
Everything he said is like...
When you're out with a man, would you like him to sort of lead and maybe pay for you?
No, like 50-50.
So since we're all equal, and say you're on a date with a guy and another man comes and tries to like slap your bum, what would you expect your man to do?
He should like stick up for it.
Why? Now he's putting himself in the firing line.
Yeah.
But we're equal. Why don't you put yourself in the firing line? We're only equal when it comes to buying dinner.
No.
Boom!
You guys know who Andrew Tate is?
Boom!
I love all these women that are coming out and defending Andrew Tate as well.
It's
like,
not
they're
even
the ones that, like, they're not even defending him really because he hasn't done nothing wrong. But
it's not just Andrew
logic.
Tate. I think he is just like gaslit everything, hasn't he? He's like the focal point. But it is very much this sort of double standard of I don't need a man. I don't need this. I don't need a man to do this, that, and the other. But she puts up okay. So if you're out on a date with a bloke and another bloke slaps your ass, what do you expect the bloke you're out with to do? Oh, he should stand up for me. Why? Why? He slapped your ass, not his. Like you defend your but then women no. Well, hang on, you can't have it both ways. I love the way social media in these days is designed to keep snowflakes happy. Like, don't offend anyone. You can't say this. You can think it as long as you don't say it. You can't. But now TikToks like that are starting to fucking show people that actually this fucking softly snowflake world, there are cracks in it, and it's being exposed, and I love it. Go back to the 90s.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Go back to the 90s.
But it's like the thing is, a lot of the social medias and medias these days are trying to divide everything: race, religion, fucking sex, gender. Do you know what I mean? It's like they're just trying to like cause a sort of an unnecessary fucking war between everyone's beliefs
Mhm.
by stupid fucking videos.
Yeah, it's just
There's still a lot to do. Do you know what I mean?
It's to keep your eyes on the sort of trivial shit like that, so that we don't see what they're actually doing.
Yeah. It's like I'm changing a bit the subject here. It's back on when you were on about your daughter with school, and school contacted you about was it child social services?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of happened similar to, I won't say any names, someone might know, was play fighting with his son, and he had the smallest bruise on his arm, and he went into school, and no happiest kid ever, treated fucking the best ever, went to school, asked what happened to his arm, and he said, I was play fighting with daddy. Similar scenario to you.
Standard.
So now they've got a letter and people come around their house tomorrow to inspect and see what's going on, because that's what he said.
Yeah.
And then I spoke to someone today, and I mentioned that, not saying any names, just like I've just said to you. And the person who responded, who I spoke to today at my son's birthday parties, one of the parents, they said, "Oh, that's something similar happened to us." And they asked what's going on, and they said, "Oh, we see mummy and daddy fighting all the time." And that's what they asked the kid. The kid's 4 years old, right? But they play fight, yeah. Blah blah blah. And they said, "Oh, is it daddy hurting mummy?"
Straight away.
And then, yeah. And the son said, "No, it's mainly mummy hurting daddy." So they said, "Right, we're not going to call social services this time. But if we hear any more, then we might have to get them involved." So because
it was the woman beating up the bloke,
the lad, it was okay to brush under the carpet.
Yeah.
But because the other way around, they were on fucking high alert, ready to fucking send fire at them.
Mental,
like
innit?
that, and it's crazy, isn't it?
So there's two sides to it, right? It's annoying because it puts a lot of pressure on you as a family. It upsets you because you're like, shit, how could anyone think that of us? But at the same time, it's actually really good that they investigate it, because there are people out there that are abusing their kids and are abusing their partners, and it kind of goes under the radar and isn't looked at. So the fact that they're jumping on it is actually pretty cool, because hopefully they'll catch the cases that they need to catch early on. And as like when they social had to get involved with us lot and our family, I was fine. I was like, you come around whenever you want. Like it didn't bother me. It was annoying because it was just like, okay, this takes time and social faux pas. Yeah, we got social services coming around, but I was pleased that they were doing their job 100%, because if that saves one kid's life, or a woman getting beaten to death, or a man getting beaten to death, then fantastic. But yeah, it's a double-edged sword. They can be over the top, but sometimes it's kind of necessary. It's kind of like what was I watching earlier?
There's got to be some sort of better procedure though, because you think about the amount of time wasted knowingly. Like for example, tomorrow they are going to waste their time tomorrow, and all they're going to do is like. But the thing is, it affects you as a parent. Am I allowed to go and play fight with my child anymore? Am I allowed to have fun with my child anymore? Because am I going to risk the fact he might have a bruise on his face if I take him skateboarding or playing football? I'm going to get fucking investigated. There has to be some sort of better process in that.
Well, I mean, I get in. I have to speak to the school quite a lot about my daughter because she's the violent one, and she's always got bruises on her because I beat the shit out of her. Me and her, we just don't stop play fighting. I will throw her on the bed. I throw her on the sofa. I tickle the fuck out of her. Now I got big manly hands, and I grab hold of her.
Thing, by the way.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
It's not coming through on the podcast. How can you hear it?
Sorry.
It's not coming through on the podcast.
Yeah, carry on.
I got big manly hands, and I grab hold of her, and this, that, and the other, and she, yeah, she loves it. But then I have to, she's got a bruise because I beat the shit out of her. But her teachers know us now, and social have been round, and they understand that we're perfectly happy. There's no abuse in our family. We're just having a laugh and a giggle. But that thing I just brought up on Netflix that obviously didn't bring up the podcast, but you could see it, is a thing called Killer Sally. Have you seen that been advertised on Netflix?
No.
So she was Killer Sally. She was a bodybuilder. Her partner was a bodybuilder. He used to beat her and the kids. He used to beat the kids with a belt. And then one day she shot him in the stomach and shot him in the face and killed him, essentially. And that is 3 episodes. I watched the whole lot today. 3 episodes on the trial and everything that happened. Big spoiler alert. So if you're gonna watch Killer Sally on Netflix, fucking mute the video for the next couple of minutes because I don't want anyone to cry about it. But essentially, she ended up going to prison for originally 19 years, but she ended up doing 25. I think she was just naughty in prison or whatever. But it turns out, and her kids, they were like crying, "You killed daddy." And she was like, "I feel like I've let you kids down." And the kids at their age were like, "You haven't, mummy. You saved us. You saved us. He was going to kill us." Because he was like a world championship bodybuilder on steroids. He was on like 7 or 8 different steroids, massively angry, violent man. And because she was on steroids and she was a big woman as well, she could defend herself 9 times out of 10. So the reports were they were fighting each other a lot. But it didn't get, this is all in like the mid 80s, sort of mid 90s, that sort of period of time. And there wasn't any investigations, and the teachers, the kids' teachers were like ignoring it, and everything was going by. But nowadays, well, I say nowadays that wouldn't fly. Those kids would have never got abused, or the dad wouldn't have been shot to death because people would have stepped in by then. But did you see the thing on the news recently? I don't really want to go too much into it because it's really nasty, about the 15-year-old that was beaten to death by his family.
No, like literally recently, no.
Yeah,
no,
like in the last week.
Watch much news now. I don't really watch much news.
I won't go into it too much because it is really nasty, but essentially this 15-year-old was like, that he had CCTV cameras in his bedroom, and he was used as a slave. He was literally the family slave. And the videos they've shown of him, he can't barely walk, he can't sit down because his stepdad was a kickboxing champion. And instead of buying a punch bag, he used to use this kid, and he would knee him and break his ribs, and then he would flex in the mirror at how big he is, punch him, beat him with a bout. The mum would then go in and then have her turn and just beating this kid, and they went too far and they killed him. They're now doing several years, obviously like 20, 30 years in prison each. But you say, and that kid was going to school every day, and no teacher there picked it up, and he's covered in bruises, broken ribs, and he's doing PE at school, and no teacher picked it up. So
whose fault is that?
Everyone's, mate. That is a massive fuck up from the school, social services, the police, everything, absolutely everything. Horrific case that this kid had no one to turn to or speak to or anything. And there's videos of them all go, like the kid was locked up, he was chained up at home, and they were going to Alton Towers for the day, having a wicked day. And then they would come back and just beat him up for hours and hours. And I mean, hours and hours and hours of just relentless beating this kid until he died. Savage. So sometimes, so social saying we want to come and see you because your kid's got a bruise. I'm like, yeah, cool, come around.
Yeah,
nothing. It's
got
annoying.
Nothing to hide. It is annoying. But nothing to hide.
Anyway, do you want to see something funny on a happy note?
Yeah, that's really fucking pissed me off.
Yeah, it's a fucker, isn't it? It fucked me up as well, which is why I didn't want to like speak about it for too long. So should I show you something?
I get really angry with stuff like that.
Same. It fucking winds me up. Do you want to see a funny one? Right. The world's longest robbery.
Yeah.
Have you seen? I showed you this, didn't I?
You sent it me. Yeah. Fucking hell,
Mate, at one point, this geezer in the background that I've got my mouse over...
He goes flying, right? Doesn't he?
He almost gets crushed by this dickhead in this fucking digger.
Oh, mate. I'm guessing that's somewhere, like, not even in the... Like, I don't know, maybe somewhere...
Oh, no, this is England. This is England.
Is this England?
Yeah. This is the UK.
Oh, yeah, nationwide. Oh, my God.
And you can hear the guy shout, "Gavin, fucking hell, go!" You can hear him shouting.
That's right, yeah.
Right? So they get they pull it out, right? And then you watch this it's this old boy, or one of them, he's by the bucket. Is it this guy?
What I don't get is...
That he tips the bucket and your boy is stood right under it. Boom! That was almost his knee. That was almost his leg snapped.
No, isn't it this bit where it flings up and he goes flying? Watch it closely. Like one of them goes absolutely like a ragdoll. I swear they did, unless I didn't see it properly. Yeah, look. He's like, whoa.
Fucking hell, man.
He's still on there. I think this is it.
Jack, loop it.
Stop saying my fucking name.
Yeah, you dick. And look, they've got the strap so loose. Like, what are you doing? Get it in the fucking bucket!
I'd
Right,
say,
so this is like a 5-minute video. I've got to skip it forward. Still haven't got it in. Still haven't got it. Where are the police?
these are the questions I was going to say.
The
Like,
alarms must be going crazy. Where's the police? They finally get it up, awfully.
here we go. This is it now. I think one of them goes fucking flying. Oh my god. That's it. Watch. Watch. He's holding on. He's holding on. Look.
Like,
Look. He's still not. See it? Did you see him fall off?
yeah, and he's crushed. He's actually crushed the trailer.
Fucking
He's crushed the trailer with their own digger. Mate, they start running off. Like they haven't even closed the trailer. It's dragging across the floor.
I want to know where that is, because that is a quiet road. So they were there for 5 minutes.
They were there for 5 minutes robbing the bank.
And they've left the JCB there.
Well, where are they going? It's not a getaway vehicle, is it?
Like, yeah, I know, but I'm like, these are the questions I'm just going to see from there. Firstly, how the fuck did they get the JCB there without being stopped by the police or any car of any sort? Secondly, they were there for 5 minutes. Where were the fucking response at all? And thirdly, like, all over a fucking ATM. Like, how much is in an ATM? Surely they're emptied.
I was going to say, that's the other thing.
Like,
What,
they're
maximum?
empty to the bare a grand.
I was going to say
Maybe
maximum a grand.
Yeah.
2 grand. Even if
Yeah.
there's 5, right, say there's 5 grand in there, yeah? Actually, you know, fuck it. Let's say there's 30 grand, because we know that's bollocks. Say there's 30 grand in there. They could sell the digger for more than that.
Well, they definitely stole that digger,
They could have sold the digger for parts and got more than 30 grand. I used to build them for a living. I know how expensive those things are. Plant fucking vehicles are not cheap. Just the hydraulics on it alone. Like, they literally, they smashed up a trailer. That trailer probably cost 500 to a grand. They've probably nicked that Shogun. They fucked up the digger. And they've got to now open that ATM. And I could have this wrong, but with ATMs and stuff, the money is protected by like a bomb of ink, isn't it? So even if they do get into it, the money's fucked. Like,
and
where was the logic?
The ATMs are tracked as well. They've got.
Are they really? Probably.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like, and they're shouting each other's name. Gavin, Jack. Like, oh,
Jack,
it was Gavin and Jack then. Fuck me. Jack works on a building site where a fucking digger was just recently stolen. Oh, okay, cool, well done. Yeah, that was a funny video. I did like that one. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just the police response on that was terrible.
Awful. It was that must be a little village in some back end of nowhere.
Yeah, it's got to be. Which is probably even less money in that fucking ATM if it's a village.
Yeah. I mean,
surely if you're going off an ATM, they're going to be like, right, what on average between from the time it closes? So let's say the bank closes at fucking 6 p.m. till 8 a.m. What's the average money drawn in that village? Let's say like we said, a grand. They'd be like, right, let's put a grand max in there, or 2 grand max. It's not even fucking worth it.
No,
I couldn't imagine it being any more than that. No one's going to be withdrawing that much.
And it didn't look like there was much nightlife, so it's not like people are going to the local pub and nightclub and they need cash. So there wouldn't have been much in there. So they've picked an ATM in the middle of nowhere because they know the police response time is going to be slow. But they probably didn't think to themselves, there'd be no money in it though. If you were going to rob anywhere, where would you rob now? Like if you wanted to do a quick robbery, make some money and get away, what would you rob?
I would rob a jewelry store. Right, the one front window, sledgehammer the window, fucking get all the Rolexes all in the one, fucking scrape it all in a bag, get in the getaway car, see you later, God bless, I'll be gone in literally like 2 minutes.
But then you've given yourself 17 million problems after that, though.
In what sense?
Where are you getting rid of it?
Well, you can easily dish it out here,
How?
there, and everywhere, can't you?
No,
Even
jewelry is
with
hard
that.
to get rid of.
Yeah, but it's money, isn't it, at the end of the day?
It is, but Rolexes. I'm going to cough. Hang on.
There you go.
Rolexes.
I actually needed a cough.
Rolexes and diamonds and things are very hard to get rid of. It's not the easiest thing. It's like Bernie Ecclestone's daughter. She got robbed, didn't she, in London? And they stole millions worth of diamonds, and no one knows where they are. And the reason is that you can't get rid of them. You try and sell them somewhere, and they're like, "Well, I know where that diamond's from."
You wouldn't sell them in the same country, mate. You'd sell them
Romania.
You'd
Go to Romania.
Else. Yeah, you'd sell them in pawn shops and stuff for a few grand.
Yeah,
you know?
I think,
and you could just it would just be an quick, easy way of doing it. I suppose depends how much you rob, obviously, but that would be the best, like a better that'd be a better robbery than what we just saw. And I've just come up with that. That must have took them a good week or two to plan that.
Oh, longer than that.
Shit.
Longer
Maybe
than
more.
that.
The hardest bit of planning about that is getting that fucking JCB there.
Yeah.
Yeah. How the fuck do I'm impressed with that.
that they max out at like 40 mile an hour, so that's taken them a minute to get that there. I don't know what I would do. I honestly don't know. If I wanted to do like a quick robbery, I think that's still the best. It's like nicking a high-end car and then putting it into a shipping container covered in tinfoil so that the signal of any tracker can't get out, and then strip it down for parts. I think that's the best way to make money at the minute. Like if you're going to do something illegal and rob something and physically do the work. Obviously the best kind of robbery nowadays is all digital, where you digitally rob someone, you hack a computer. There's no real. That's the best way. But if I was going to do it and it was a physical thing, I think it would be stealing cars and breaking them for parts.
The best, I think, the best, like you said, digitally. The best
you can't even say the word. Say digitally again.
Digitally.
Well done.
Thank you, mate. It takes me sometimes second time attempt, to say it properly.
Second time attempt.
Second time.
Brilliant.
And there's these ones that they go around like scanning. Everyone's got contactless cards, right? And they walk around busy areas and they scan your card in your pocket because they get close and personal.
Yeah.
And it's only something like 10p. And the transaction would be for a bag, a 10p plastic bag.
Yeah.
Right? And imagine just walking through high-end London, main city centres all day, going, 10p, fucking, you're laughing, aren't you?
Yeah.
People won't really notice that.
I've seen...
they might do, but 10p bag, you're like, yeah, all right.
You're talking about these sort of digital things. I saw something recently. It wasn't a robbery. There's a guy. He's got a machine. It's like I think it's called a flipper or something, and you can basically program this thing to do anything. It will interact with anything. So the people that are like they're vegans and they want everyone to stop eating meat, and they will stand in the middle of like a city centre and they'll have a TV and it will have like loads of horrific animal rights bullshit on it, or you stop eating. This geezer with his flipper, he just programmed it to turn off all of their electrical equipment, and he just stood there, pushed a button, and everything just turned off. I love shit like that. He stands next to like traffic lights with this machine, and he can make traffic lights all just stay red for like 10 minutes. He can program it to do things to people's bank cards. Like he shows it on TikTok, the device, and he's like, you can't buy these legally. I don't know how he's got one. And he goes, and you have to really know how to program them to do certain things. He goes, but this will interact with anything electronic, and I can make it do anything I want it to do. Fucking fascinating, but also really scary that such a device exists. I wonder if I can find one.
Yeah.
Just to show it.
You're gonna get flagged up on GCHQ.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I won't bother. I won't bother searching for that. Mate, some of my searches from our conversations, like conversations with you or conversations I've been having with Dalesy recently, and I wonder what that is. And you search it on your computer and you think, fuck, I need to delete my history. Because that looks dodgy as fuck.
Yeah, because they do. It does flag up. It's like when you text the word a bomb on your phone, that also flags up.
To who?
To anyone. So like there was back in the day where people would be like, oh mate, let's get on the Jaeger train, the Jaeger bomb train tonight, and everyone would type say the word Jaeger bomb in their text messages.
Yeah,
and it would flag up because the word bomb, and realize it's just a Jaeger bomb. But obviously,
That'd be annoying, wouldn't
all
it?
the
If your
it's all
job,
the intelligence, yeah.
your
All the
job is to
intelligence
look through the
search.
intelligence, and you're just like bomb, Jaeger bomb, Jaeger bomb. You're sat at a computer reading Jaeger bomb 17 million times, and all these people are out just partying, and you're like, yeah, your life's better than mine. I'm reading your text, but you're out drinking Jaeger bombs.
Change the subject.
Go on then.
What's your thoughts on the old Simpsons predictions? Have you seen any?
Oh, mate, that's a good question. I've seen them all. Well, I say seen them all. I've seen most of the ones that have been public.
It's
I
a
don't know.
mindfucker, isn't it? It is a mindfucker, isn't it?
So
Because that is a complete conspiracy theorist right there. Like, that's a conspiracy, isn't it? Seeing that. But how fucking accurate do you have to be to not believe? Like, it's got to be a certain point where you think, surely they know something, or surely they got to be fucking time traveling or something. So the one with the Donald Trump one,
yeah,
the Donald Trump one, that is just pinpoint.
Even down to the people in the crowd and the signs
People
that
in
they're
the
holding
crowd,
up.
the signs, the fucking elevator, the hand raise,
everything. It's too much to be a coincidence. If it was just that one clip, you'd be like, "Oh fuck me, what a coincidence!"
Yeah,
but the fact that there's loads of them, and you just think, "Okay, there's something not right there." Yeah, I too much to be a coincidence. I don't. Honest answer, I don't think it's a coincidence. There's something has happened. What that something is, I don't know. I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, it's got to come to the point where it's a hard one. It's a good subject to talk about, really. I think exactly like you. There's definitely something going on. There's got to be some sort of time travel. I'm not saying it's going to be time travel, but or maybe they can just read the future. Maybe he can just read the future. Maybe he can just literally he's like, yeah, dude. And there's so much like calculation gone through his brain and process it. That's what's going to happen. And funny enough, the prediction's right. Maybe because there's all these supercomputers, isn't there?
Sorry, I was just
that can
laughing.
predict.
Yeah,
but
it's too
hard
much. It's
as
too
you
much.
said, if it happened once, you'd be like, "Fuck, good guess, mate." Because everyone has a good guess once in a while. Everyone has a bit of fucking luck. And go, fuck it. I told you United would win 2-0 today. And two people, people place bets and think have they predicted the future? Are they from the future? No, they've just predicted something right. But that's literally like in the space of like a week. This is years.
Well, there are pictures of, I'm going to use the term loosely, time travelers. There are actually pictures from like the 1940s. And then there's someone in the crowd that has got clothes on that didn't come out until the 90s.
Yeah.
Have you seen those pictures?
I've seen one picture as well. Someone looked like they're holding they're watching a boxing match, and they were holding a Samsung. It looked like they were holding a Samsung boxing picture. I will try and find it myself. Boxing picture from the future. I just want to put.
Yeah, it's like this one. This geezer wearing these sunglasses.
I can't see it. You've closed it.
I haven't closed it.
I can't see it.
Oh, hang on.
Discord.
All right, hang on. You see it now?
Yes, sir.
Look.
Oh, yeah. Is that real? It's not photoshopped.
No. This picture has been around for a while, bro. Pictures like that, and you just think, okie dokie. There's some very, it's some very odd.
The thing is, mate, there's a lot of people out there that do look like one another.
Good dudes on a mobile phone. It's not looking like one another in that one, you fucking moron. It's the fact that the time it is and the style of clothes.
He ain't got no hat. He's got fucking it looks like he's got a hoodie on.
Yeah, exactly.
And everyone's in suits apart from him. And he's got glasses on, like fucking real shady glasses, like hey Speedy, how's it going, man?
Look, your boy's on a mobile phone. Your boy is on a mobile phone.
Like he's holding something there. What year was that on that
40s.
picture? Does it say? I wonder if that picture there is like, I don't know. Like back in the day, there was some fucking shady shit in World War and stuff. Some real secret fucking missions.
But that's
and they had the
obviously
technology then.
But yeah, I know what you mean. military, like military stuff that
Yeah,
the
like,
general
did they
public
have
wasn't
comms
aware
then?
of.
Yeah. Did they have comms back then like that? And it's like, you know, the military have a lot of technology that hasn't been released. 100%. I've only had a taste of it, and there's some fucking crazy stuff that we can do.
Well,
I can't say too much because I'm not allowed to. But there is some fucking crazy stuff that we can do.
yeah, no,
on
yeah.
what we do, and that's just, and I've only had like a snippet, a very snippet of what we, and I'm thinking like, wow, that's amazing. That's a good bit of tech.
Look, he's got a fucking phone in his hand.
Oh, you can't zoom in on it, can you?
No, it's like, so yeah. There's definitely, what the fuck. So there's definitely something, right, when it comes to time travel and so on and so forth. But what it is, I don't know.
And that was it. Type in the Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mike Tyson time traveler. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like, how mad's that?
Mike Tyson fight proof that time travel exists.
But then I think someone put a clip of an old camera back in the day which looked identical to that. It was just an old camera back in the day, like a roll.
Fight caught the eyes of some interviewer with a dual interest in boxing and conspiracy theories who noticed someone in one of the front rows holding up something closely resembling a smartphone to film the fight. Yes, this time traveler does the same annoying shit people do at concerts today, which seems like evidence alone that this person isn't from 1995. He's got the awful habits of a post-2010 human. Camera phones like this, mind you, weren't available in the until the year 2000. That's weird, bro.
That is, isn't it?
That's an odd one. Yeah, I didn't know about that one. But
Yeah, I did see that before.
But the Simpsons and the time traveling thing. Let me see if there's any.
It's a hard subject to talk about, time travel or not. Do you believe in it or not? The way the world's and technology is now, I can probably, like, it's hard to say, like, without sounding like a twat, really. But I
You can sound like a twat.
believe. Yeah, I suppose I could do. I will believe in it in the future, maybe. Because space and time and all that is all. It mind blows me how it works.
Well,
like, you go to a different planet, a day on that planet is like 5 years here. I don't know if you've seen that film. Is it Interstellar?
Interstellar, yeah.
Yeah, like, how interesting is that movie?
And
like,
Martian,
he's there for like
there's a film called Martian, isn't there?
He's there for 24 hours. He comes back and his daughter's older than him. It's
Interstellar
like,
is a sick film. Well, it's the same as there's like, depending on like how far away from a clock you are, or depending on like the rotation of the Earth, you're actually going faster than time or slower than time. There's lots of science behind shit and stuff that I'm too dumb to I don't fully understand. But they were explaining about like wormholes and time travel, and how if you imagine space is like on a flat piece of paper and you draw a dot here and a dot hit on the other side of the paper, it's really far away. It's at the two edges of space. But then if you was to fold that piece of paper, the two dots are right next to each other.
Yeah.
So they're saying that time travel is essentially doing that. You're essentially folding space and time and going from one side to the other ridiculously quickly rather than going across the plane. And there is science behind it. I don't know what it is. I'm just, I don't ask me what it is, but yeah, there is a science behind it that says that is actually possible. It's like this one as well on The Simpsons.
That one fucking blew my brain.
This was real.
I know. That one blew my fucking brain out. I went, poof. I stood there going, what?
So
How's
this maths equation didn't exist.
No.
This wasn't a thing. And then there was, what was it? Was it like a new molecule or something was found? And this is the exact mathematical shit behind it that makes that molecule or something. And they were like, it's literally exact. But at the time this Simpsons episode came out, it didn't exist.
I know exactly. Yeah. And that's what blew my fucking head.
That is like, not even like, oh yeah, it's kind
What is
of
it
the
for?
same.
It's equation for what? A molecule.
It's I can't
An
exactly
atom.
remember, an atom or something like that.
A molecule, yeah. Something like that.
Let me Google it. Hang on, I'll go off the screen so my Google search doesn't look ridiculous. The people can't see. But yeah, it's the exact equation. Hang on, Simpsons.
Yeah.
Equation.
See, in regards to shit like a lot of conspiracy theorists,
Yeah.
like aliens, like time travel, like blah 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 blah, they don't say anything. Would you rather know or keep in the fucking unknown?
I'd rather know
Why-
everything
I'd rather know everything. Why are they keeping it a secret? I don't know.
because the
If we
masses,
knew,
the masses can't deal with the truth.
I suppose it goes back on what Andrew Tate said with regards to his content. When he's speaking to maybe 500 people, it won't affect, and he says something wrong, it won't affect that many people. But now he's the most popular, most famous man on the planet. If he says something out of line, it will affect that 1% that get offended, which then talk. But I wouldn't. I just want to fucking know. If
It says
just DM
here,
me.
Homer
Someone DM
comes
me.
up with a mathematical equation that predicts the mass of the Higgs boson more than a decade before it even existed. So that mass equation at the time it meant nothing, but then when it became true, it was behind the Higgs boson. I don't know what the Higgs boson is, but this is
the exact,
exactly that.
How much like this?
But the masses can't deal with reality. People cannot deal with the truth. This is why religion exists, because people are too scared of nothing. People are too scared of their existence meaning nothing. They're too scared that when they die, that's it. The end. So people make up shit to make them feel more comfortable. So if the truth was to come out, half of our world would just go into meltdown mode and panic.
I'd probably, yeah. What's the point of living? What's this? That,
Exactly. Exactly. And so, time travel's real. By the way, everyone. Oh, amazing. Can we go forward in time and make everyone, or can we go back in time and make everyone rich? Can I go back in time before Bitcoin was a thing? Why can't I go back in time? Well, it's my right to, I can change gender. I want to go back in time. It's my right. You can't take my time travel away from me. Why do the rich have it? Why do the rich get to time travel, but I don't get to time travel? Is it because I'm white? Is it because, you see what I mean? They can't,
Yeah.
I
think you nailed it on the head there, to be fair.
You give people too much information, and all of a sudden it becomes their right, and they're going to fight to defend it, and then you just create more problems. And not everyone is rational thinking. If going back in time is actually something you can do, people are going to go back in time and go and see their loved ones. People are going to go back in time and change too much shit, which will then change the future.
Do you think that's why the future's changed and the way the world's changing so rapid? Do you think that's maybe why someone's done something, maybe travel back in time and fuck someone up?
Possibly. I
You
genuinely
never know.
don't know. And
That's a conspiracy.
do you know what's
theory.
really funny? Do you know what's really funny is I know for a fact, I know people that do watch this will now be like, oh, them two are fucking mental. They've gone off on a tangent and they're believing this. But you got to think logically, like, if time travel is a thing, it would explain an awful lot. How we suddenly came into the technology we've got. If you look at the 1980s, mobile phones were in briefcases, and they were only held by very, very wealthy, very, very business-like men. And then before you know it, we've all got a mobile phone in our pocket. That technology came across so quickly. We made it to the moon with technology that with less technology than we've all got in our fucking pocket right now. Like, your phone is right next to you. We're doing this podcast. On my setup, my setup could have got us to the moon. Do you know what I mean?
It's mad, isn't it?
And the only way to explain that is fuckery. Something has happened. Someone has done something. There's no way the human mind has just gone, I understand this now, boom, and exploded technology as fast as it has. If we've been around for as many years as we have, we've gone from making the wheel to hundreds, thousands of years later on, and we've made electricity, we've made this, that, and the other, And now, but in the last 30 years, we've made amazing bombs. We've made amazing computers, mobile phones, electric cars themselves in the last 100 years. Look at the difference. The fuck?
I don't
That's
really
100
agree
years.
with the old electric car bollocks. If I'm being honest, I feel like the
What do you
electric,
mean?
they're saying to save the planet and stuff, but you think about how much earth and how much resource it is to make a battery for a fucking car.
Yeah, you know, it is mostly bollocks. I agree
Like
with that.
it's like, let's save the planet with the fumes and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's probably better if we continue on what we're doing, or like we've discussed in previous podcasts, like you said something about Elon wants to go to a planet without using any fuel.
Yep.
Like, why is that not a fucking thing? And another one where we've heard other stories of people making vehicles out of just normal water. You know, it's like, come on, like there's got to be something out there. But electric cars is a thing, right? It's going to take more resource to charge them. How much does it actually take to make a battery? Like, how much is it coal that makes it? You know, like coal and resource and iron and shit. I don't know.
Elon Musk is the
There's loads. I'm not playing it, don't worry. There's loads of shit. There's literally loads of shit that goes into making a battery. Absolutely
Elon
loads.
Musk finally reveals new light speed engine to make smiles in 30 minutes. I haven't seen this. I started seeing it when you told me.
as his companies keep introducing some mind-blowing new things. Space exploration sector is already becoming another Elon-dominated place, with his company, SpaceX, which is valued at over $100 billion.
Fucking hell.
And this billionaire seems to bolster his company's position in the game a bit more by revealing a whole new rocket engine. NASA, the leading name in the space industry, has joined hands with SpaceX to make this engine, named the Lightspeed engine, which apparently defies the laws of physics. Taking on the challenge. When it comes to space, there's a problem with our human drive to go all the places and see
I'm not
all
going to
the
watch the whole
things.
fucking thing, Jesus Christ. But basically, he's made a rocket that can go at the speed of light and use no fuel. The fuck? If he's done that, then why can we not have cars that can do this sort of shit? Like you run at no fuel. Now let's
obviously
so
not run at the speed
carrying
of
on.
light because we're big fucking crashing left, right, and centre. We can't even drive cars at 30 mile an hour.
No, definitely not. But like you
But
said,
yeah, I
we
get
should
what you
carry on doing what we're doing. We should definitely stop using petrol and diesel because it's killing the planet. So we should definitely change something. And the idea that electric is the way forward because it's a zero emission vehicle. Yes, that's correct. It is a zero emission vehicle. However, to create that vehicle has used more emissions than it would to make an actual car. That car run its entire life using petrol and then die. So
That's what I mean. It's used more.
So at the minute, it's a stupid thing. It's so backwards. But if Elon has made a motor that doesn't use any fuel, which means there'll be no emissions because it's not burning anything, why are we not put that into a car?
But I'm going to just go back on your word there. Like you said, you shouldn't change anything. We should definitely use you would rather use electric cars, or would you rather use the petrol and the fossil fuel?
No, we should stop both.
We should. 100%. I agree with you on that. But
We
I
shouldn't
feel like
carry on as we are.
I don't think we should carry on with the electric cars. I feel like that should just be shit canned. As you said, it takes to make one of the electric cars a car with petrol its entire lifetime using petrol.
Mate, what
the
about
emissions it's used? It's like, what the fuck?
What
You
about
know?
my Mercedes? It's a fucking hybrid. It's got a petrol engine and a motor. My car's fucked. I got batteries and petrol. Fuck the
But
planet.
this is what it is. A lot of people be like, "Oh, electric cars, it's so much better. We got solar panels on our roof to charge our car, and that means we do no emissions. That means the world's a better place." Hang on, mate. Do you know what's fucking? It's taken a shit ton of emissions to make that car. And if you bought a car and for the rest of your life you use that same car and you filled it up with petrol, you've used more emissions with your electric car before you even had it, mate. And they're like, I didn't think of that, but how? Yeah, it's like, oh my god, like.
You want to talk about conspiracy theorists? What about the people that believe the Earth is flat?
I was going to go on to that next, but I feel like we could go on that. We could maybe write that one down for the next one. But
why? Have you got a lot to... Hang on, one.
Actually, no, go on then.
Hold the fucking phone. What do you
fucking
believe?
I hate flat earthers.
Oh, mate, for a minute there, I thought you were going to say you were a flat earther, and I was going to say this is going to be the first podcast that's 7 hours long.
To be honest, I hate them. in the sense of like, come on, like there's science, but like I don't even know what I believe. I don't care really in the sense what fucking shape the Earth is, if I'm being honest. But it's definitely, it can't be flat. It genuinely can't be flat.
Why can't it be flat?
Because we'd just fall off a fucking edge of a fucking cliff, wouldn't we?
Well,
If it's
no,
flat,
because of the ice wall.
right? And we just travel in a straight line, we're just going to drop, aren't we? If it's flat, it's like
Right.
holding your hand out. It's flat like that. You're going to eventually fall off.
Right.
There's people that's travelled the world, right?
So these people that believe the Earth is flat, I understand their logic. I get it. I fully understand.
I've seen
They're
some
like,
of
well,
their little evidence.
How can you be
videos.
underneath but still stuck to the planet? Gravity doesn't exist. Like the gravity is made, like all of that shit. I understand where they're coming from because they're morons, right? In the same way, like my toddler can't get their head around the fact that going to the toilet is better than shitting in a nappy. She shits in the nappy because it's easier for her. Her brain cannot work out how a toilet works. She's just like, what? She's a moron. Okay, so. In the way flat earthers are like, well, gravity doesn't exist, and because things are going up and sticking to the bottom. If I put my keys here on the bottom of my hand and it's flat, it falls. So it clearly like you can't be on the bottom of the planet. They're morons. They're dribbly fucking dickheads, right? So when you explain to them, no, you are naturally attracted to things bigger than you. This is what we've proven. So because of the physical mass of the planet, things are drawn to it, and that's what gravity is. And they're like, no, I don't understand that, right? Because my Uncle Steve is massive, right? But when I walk past him, I don't stick to him. So that's fucking bollock. Do you know what I mean? They're morons.
It makes it. I like the ones that they say, yeah, when NASA do a satellite image and you don't see the whole planet. And it's like, well, the planet's fucking huge, right?
Huge, yeah.
And the satellite's at a certain orbit,
yeah,
right? Where you probably, the only way you could probably see it through a lens is if you have to be further back. That's like putting your face, it's like putting your fucking, this cup in your face like that. And you're like, I need to see the whole thing. Yeah, but I physically can't.
Do you reckon
the only way I could do it is if I move back a bit? Oh, there you go. But they can't because it's out of the orbit.
Do you reckon the moon landing was real?
I was going to go on to that subject when we were talking about the space. I love space, by the way. I love all the looking at the star. Like I like the fact that I'm looking at a star right now, and in my entire lifetime, that star could be fucking disappeared from space, but because it's so far away, and the light, by the time of my lifetime, it will still be shining, and it could be already gone years and years and years ago. It could have been gone like 1,000 years ago, because it's millions and millions of light years away. I would never know if that star's gone.
You impress me sometimes because you are one of the dumbest people I know, but sometimes you come out with some really intelligent shit.
Thank you, mate. Well, my dad was a real big fucking stargazer, so and he used to watch all the documentaries on fucking space, and I just sat there going, "Wow,
it is fascinating.
Cool. It is."
So that, like, when I tried to explain to people that the Big Bang isn't a theory anymore. Like, it's been proven. It's no longer... It's not the theory of the Big Bang. Big Bang's only a theory. No. It's not a theory anymore. We've got a video... They're videoing it. They're recording it happen as we speak. And then dumb people are like, you can't record it. It was in the past. Like, you can't record it. You're like, right.
Is, I get what they're saying. It's like the flat earthers, mate. They just see it one thing, but then they're going, do you believe in God? And that's because, or do you believe in Jesus and stuff like that? Because that's what one person said back in the day, 2,000 years ago, and you're putting your faith into a scientist, what he believes. So he's your God technically. And do you know what I'm getting at with that?
Yeah. I know what you mean. But because the Big Bang happens, that's what this new fucking satellite, Casio watch. That's what the new satellite is. The new satellite that's been up there for like the last 2 years, let's say. And we're just getting information back. It can see so far into space. It has found the original location of the Big Bang. It can see the original source of light that created everything that we know and love.
Rewind time, right?
It's not rewinding time. It's recording the light. As the light is hitting it, it's recording it. So because, as you said, a star that you look at now may not even exist anymore. But because it's taken so many years for that light to travel and get to us, we can still see it. So it's resonating. So when you throw a rock in a river and it creates a ripple, that rock isn't continuously hitting the water. The ripples just continue moving out and keep going and keep going and keep going, just like the light from a star. So the Big Bang being one of the biggest explosions there was, the biggest amount of light, we can still record that light, and we're essentially then recording the Big Bang. But some people can't get their head over that. They can't work out how that's a thing. And I can understand that. But it's like the moon landing, people saying it's fake because of it. On my screen now, you can see the flag. And they're like, there's no wind in space. Correct. There is no wind in space. It's 100%
Yeah, you've
fact.
gone on to that question. Do you believe it's real? I kind of think it might be staged in some sense. I think it's 50-50.
I think it's real.
You think it's real?
Yeah. So when the flag was put into the moon, they had like an iron, like a coat hanger wire through the top of the flag to hold it up. Firstly, when he put the flag down, the momentum. So this momentum is still a thing. So if you throw a pencil in space, that pencil will continue to fly through space forever and ever and ever and ever and ever because there's no forces to stop it. So when he put that down, the momentum of him putting it down and the coat hanger bouncing about made it look like the flag was moving in the wind. But there was no wind. That will just continuously move because there is no forces to stop it moving. It will just there's no wind, there's no nothing.
There's the gravity is a lot less on the moon. There is gravity on the moon, but it's
which you can see from the way they bounce around. People saying, well, that's just them slowed down. It's not them slowed down. The way they're bending their knees, the way they're moving, it's not slowed down. That is just like moonwalking. There's an awful lot of people. I think it was this picture or a picture like it, saying that you can't take pictures this clear in space because of the amount of dust, because of the way the light is, the amount of dust that's up there, and the light that is used. It would, like if you're driving through fog, the reason you don't put your full beams on is because it will blind you. And if you try and take a picture in space, it's exactly the same. That's why they use so many million filters so they can get these pictures to us. Space, if you're actually up there, according to astronauts that have been up there, doesn't look anything like the pictures we've seen. It's like it's just white to them. There's very little you can see because of the amount of shit that's up there. But it's fascinating. Space is fascinating. So you think the moon landing was fake? Why?
No, it's a 50-50 because I just think why are we not going back out there? But then I get it.
We are.
I get it. Like, if we've been to the moon once, why go again? Because it costs millions and millions and trillions of fucking money, you know? And if we've already done it, why do it again? There's no point. I get that.
Right.
That's probably the only reason. Like, they need to just do it now. But I suppose they're moving on to the next planet, which is Mars.
Exactly.
So that's probably more resourceful. So that's why I'm 50-50 because some of the pictures are like that. And then some of the astronauts back in the day have slipped up with some words. But then again, I've only looked into clips which could be out of context. So I haven't really thoroughly into it. But I'm more on the side that we have been there. But have you seen the Starlink satellites from Elon Musk? Have you seen them in the sky yet? Because I love stargazing.
I haven't physically seen them myself.
It's a big line of they're about. I think when I saw them for the first time, I was at my friend's funeral, and we were in the back garden having a fucking with a bunch of people having a bonfire, a few beers, and I looked up at the sky because it was a clear night in the summer, and I just saw these row of stars, and I went, "Fucking hell." They're all in line. Oh shit, they're moving. And then I realised, I clicked on show it. I was like, they're fucking satellites. And then I thought, there's 4 in a row. And because the house was covering the rest of the sky, they just kept coming. And it was just this big row of light of, I think I counted about 24, maybe 20 plus, just say. And I looked into it, and it's something to do with Elon Musk's Starlink satellites and stuff.
Yeah. So just quickly.
And I saw it. It was fucking fascinating.
Just quickly, the moon shit, we haven't been back because there's no real reason to go back as far as I see it. What is weird is how they lost all the information, that's dodgy. But I think partly they say they lost it just to stop people going up there. Like, there's nothing. Yeah. What's the point? Yeah, Spend your time working on other things. We've been to the moon, job done. But I think they did go back recently, or they're planning to go back this year or next year. There is a plan to go back. But
it's just little things like that.
The
but I
Elon
just
Musk
don't trust any government. I just don't trust them after everything. Like, I
The
just
Elon
don't trust them with
Musk
what they say.
satellite thing, Starlink shit, is fascinating. I saw a
Yeah.
video on TikTok of them crossing each other. There was some going that way, some going that way, and how they were just going. And this was photoshopped. You could see lasers going from one to the other, to the other, to the other, and creating like this link between them all. And someone said, again, I don't know how true it is, but they said this is clearly photoshopped because you can't actually see the lasers in space. So the fact that the satellites are in space and you reckon you can see the lasers from down here, there's definitely some fuckery going on there. But the original footage of the satellites moving was real.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
I can say from my own eyes, I've seen with my own eyes. I saw them and I was watching them for a very long for the time that they orbited past. But I didn't see any fucking lasers, and it was and I was in the pitch black, just fully focused on them, and there was no lasers. I couldn't see any lasers. They were literally in the that's exactly how I saw it, like a little bit of but that bush was a house, and I thought, what the fuck are they? And they I literally went, are they fucking aliens?
Mad.
It's really good. Okay, I want to count how many there are. Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yes, this is what I mean. You see them crossing each other, and in the video on TikTok, this one would send a signal to that one would send a signal to that one, and there was like lines going from them all as they crossed, sending signals apparently. And then someone was like, no, that's clearly photoshopped. I mean, this looks fake because the trees aren't moving, but you can hear the wind and you can hear the rustling of leaves, which would suggest it's windy and the trees are moving, but these trees aren't moving. So this looks completely fake to me. This one looks real.
Yeah. I thought they were more symmetrical to that, if I'm being honest. They had some of them had a few spacings, which
this one actually perfectly, Dean, describes how your brain works. Because it's completely empty space and it's just dot dot dot. But there's lots of dots. This is a visual representation of your brain.
100%. Mind blowing, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I saw. It's amazing. I was fucking shell shocked. I was like, you definitely have to do some stargazing on a clear night, mate, and then see if you can see it.
I've got a satellite.
I wonder if they've got like a tracker. Like,
fuck me. Did you hear what I just said, dickhead? I said I got a satellite. I meant I got a telescope. I got a telescope.
Yeah, I was going to question that straight after I was finishing what I was saying, but I got a satellite. Yeah,
that's real.
It's cool.
You can see the trees moving. This is 100% real.
Oh, mate, I wonder if I can scroll back up. I swear I videoed it for a little bit.
If you saw this in the sky and you didn't pull your phone out to record it, there's something wrong with you.
I was pretty pissed. I was like with people as well. When was it? It was definitely like June time.
Where are they going?
I don't know. I actually haven't read into it, what the actual operation is and stuff. But
are they moving, or is this just us moving?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Is it them orbiting the Earth, or we just? Or they?
I wasn't
just
joking. Do they just look like they're moving because we're spinning? I wonder.
No, the satellites orbit the Earth, don't they?
But we spin. We spin, don't we? The planet spins.
So they must send the orbit, obviously, say anti-clockwise, and we're spinning clockwise, right?
Right.
Imagine if they send a satellite, which is orbiting the same way as the Earth. I wonder if it stays still and it just stays like that, you know?
Of course
and
it
looks
does.
like a star.
That's why people get so confused with the moon. They're like, why do we only see one side of the moon? It's because it's spinning at the exact rate that we are. That's why we never see the back side of the moon. That's why we never see the dark side of the moon. Pink Floyd, wicked fucking album. That's why we never see the dark side of the moon, because it's orbiting exactly as we do. Right, we've gone over the hour.
Yeah, we'll go into that more, actually, regards to space and shit.
All right, over this next week, I want you to send me space stuff. TikToks and conspiracy theories. Fuck me. Should we do a deep dive on conspiracy theories?
Yeah.
Fuck me, that would be fun. Like ripping apart. Right, find a conspiracy theory that you believe and that you think is completely real, and then I will spend the next hour on the next podcast telling you you're a fucking moron.
Okay.
Say hello to
Yeah.
your mum for me, by the way.
Yeah. Hi, Mum. From Swacko. But yeah, I'll see you soon anyway, won't I?
Well, I was supposed to see you today, but
We haven't got the supplies.
Keita let us down.
Yeah, she's a bitch.
I never said that. I love Keita. I want to put a finger up her bum.
You don't. You won't get it back.
On that note, I'll see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.